One of the most dangerous places to be as a business owner is busy, but not actually changing. Because busy can feel like progress. You have events on the calendar, clients are emailing you, money is coming in, your team needs you, your phone is buzzing. From the outside, it looks like things are working, but deep down, you know something feels off. Because even though the business is moving, your role hasn't really changed. You're still the bottleneck. You're still the one holding it all together. You're still the person people come to when something breaks, when something is unclear, when something needs to get done. And at some point, you start accepting it. You say things like, this is just the season I'm in. Busy season is always like this. This is just what owning a business looks like. But here's the problem. If you don't intentionally design where the business is going, the business will keep designing your life for you. And 3 years from now, you might have more revenue, more clients, more events, and more responsibility, but still be living a slightly bigger version of the exact same life. That's what I call accidental growth, and is one of the biggest traps for successful business owners, because the business is growing, but you're not actually getting more free. The goal is not to get busier. The goal is to build something that moves you toward the future you actually want. There was a season in my business where I realized something uncomfortable. The business I had built had gotten me to where I was, but it was not going to get me to where I wanted to go. At the time, we were serving a different type of client. We were charging different prices, positioned in a different category, and I was still heavily involved in making everything work. And for a while, that was fine. That version of the business created opportunity. It created income, momentum, but eventually I had to ask myself a bigger question. What do I actually want this business to become? Not just how do I get leads, not just how do I book more events, but what kind of company am I actually trying to build? And that question changed everything. I started seeing a different future, a more premium brand, a unique offer, a better client experience, a business that could create more value, a business that didn't rely on me being involved in every single detail. And I'll be honest, I did not know exactly how we were going to get there, but I knew what had to change. The brand had to change. The content had to change. The positioning, the offer, and little by little, we evolved. We moved from being more of a traditional event company into something more premium, more luxury, more unique, and therefore more valuable. That did not happen by accident. It happened because I stopped accepting the current version of the business as the final version of the business. And that's the point. Your current business is not your final business. The clients you serve now may not be the clients you serve later. The prices you charge now may not be the prices you charge later. But none of that changes until you decide what future you're actually building toward. Most business owners build from the wrong direction. They look at where they are right now and try to move forward from there. Current clients, current pricing, current team, current problems, current identity. And then they try to create a better future using the same exact model. But I think that's backwards. I don't believe your current reality should be the starting point for your future. I believe your future vision should be the starting point for your current decisions. Because when you only build from where you are, you usually create more of what you already have. More events, more clients, more work, more pressure, more complexity, but not necessarily more freedom, not necessarily more fulfillment, not necessarily a better business. The better way is to start with the future first. What do you actually want this company to look like 3 years from now? And also, what do you want your personal life to look like 3 years from now? What type of clients do you want to serve? What do you want to be known for? What role do you want to play? What kind of team do you need to support you? What does your life look like outside of the business? Once that vision becomes clear, your decisions become clearer. You stop saying yes to everything. You stop chasing random opportunities. You stop building based only on what is urgent, and you start building based on what is aligned. Most people try to grow the business they already have. I believe you should be designing the business you actually want, because growth without direction just creates a bigger version of the same cage. Here's one of the most powerful exercises I know for creating clarity in your business and in your life. Imagine it is 3 years from now. A reporter is writing a story about you, your company, and the transformation that happened. A story What happened? What changed? What did you build? Who do you serve now? What is your company known for? What role do you play as the leader? What does your personal life look like? Write a story as if it already happened. The reason this is powerful is because most business owners are so stuck in today's problems that they never give themselves permission to clearly define the future. Once you have that future news story, then you reverse engineer it. You ask yourself, for this future to become real, what would need to be true? Would my brand need to change? Would my offer need to change? What about the systems? Would I need to become a different version of myself as a leader? Then you take that 3-year vision and you break it down. What needs to happen in the next 12 months? Then what needs to happen in the next 90 days? This is also known as a waterfall, where you set out 3 years. Based on the 3 years, what do you want to do in 12 months? Based on the 12 months, what do you need to do in the next 90 days? And then ultimately, what's my biggest constraint right now? What does my week need to look like based on where I want to be in 90 days? This is how you stop drifting. You go from future news story to 3-year vision to 1-year priorities to 90-day focus to weekly action. That is the entire waterfall way of thinking, because your future does not get built someday. It gets built through what you choose to focus on right now. If you want the framework for this, comment plan and I'll send it over. If we sat down today and talked about your business 3 years from now, could you clearly describe what it looks like? Not just the revenue, not just more bookings, not just I want to grow. I mean, the actual business, the clients you serve, the prices you charge, the team around you, the role you play, the amount of freedom you have, the way your life feels. Because a lot of business owners are successful on paper, but unclear in reality. They're busy, they're making money, they're getting referrals, they're delivering for clients, but they don't have a clear picture of what they're actually building toward. And when there's no clear future, everything feels important. Every opportunity looks like a good opportunity. Every problem feels urgent. Every season feels like survival. I'm looking for 5 event business owners who want help creating a clear growth game plan. We'll look at where you are now, where you actually want to go, and what needs to change, and what your next 90 days should focus on. If you feel like your business is growing, but your role and lifestyle are not changing fast enough, this is for you. Comment growth and I'll send you the details.